Hi, and welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and in this video, we're going to learn the 2 to 10 player game, Tally Up, designed by Eric Olson and published by Messy Table Games, who helped sponsor this video. You've maybe heard of push your luck games, but what about choose your luck? Here, you'll pick your level of risk and then push it as far as you dare. So, join me at the table and let's learn how to play. To set up, give each person one of these double-sided in-out tokens flipped to the inside, and we'll assume that we have 4 players in this video, returning the other tokens back to the box. Also create a score sheet with pencil and paper, or scan the QR code found in the game's rules to bring up this scoring app and use it instead. Then randomly choose someone to be the active player, giving them the game's 6 tally dice and what is known as the white up die. The tally dice have a variety of sides with stars and values on them, which you'll find illustrated on these included cards you can put around the table so everyone can easily see them. And that's the setup. In Tally Up, dice will be chosen and rolled. But before each roll, every player will have the option to stay in and potentially earn more points, or choose to go out and score any points that have been generated so far. The longer you stay in, the more points you could gain, but the more likely you'll bust and score none of them. The game is played over a series of rounds. To start a round, the active player picks any 3 tally dice to roll. Remember, this is the up die, so it cannot be chosen at this time. Also keep in mind, the 3 tally dice you do choose cannot be swapped out for other tally dice later during that round. And we'll see why you might pick certain dice over others later, but for now, let's assume I'm the active player and I choose these 3 dice. The others we can just set aside. Rolling these is known as the main roll, and let's assume I had these results. After a roll, you resolve it by checking how many total stars you have. If you rolled none, or just a single star like we have here, you total the values showing on the other dice and add them to a running total for this round, either tracking that on paper or here at the bottom of the web app, which we'd indicate by tapping the 70 and the 30 in this case, which gives us our running total here. Those represent the points all the players could earn this round. They haven't earned them yet, but they still could. And notice, although only one person rolls the dice, all players can earn points. Next, each person secretly sets their in-out token to either side, ensuring no one else can see their choice, perhaps in a closed fist or under their hand. When everyone is ready, the active player says 1, 2, 3, and on 3, everyone reveals which side they chose. Conducting a formal countdown is not absolutely necessary, and players may find they only feel the need to do this closer to the end of the game, which is fine. Just ensure that no matter what method you use each round, players are in agreement on the timing of when tokens will be revealed. Either way, players who set their token to out are out of the current round and cannot earn any more points this round. But they now get to bank the current running total as points they've collected. In the app, this means you tap the in button by any player who's just gone out. And then their running total is added to any of their points already banked here on the left, which at the start of the game is 0. So let's try this. We'll tap the in button, it switches to out, and now this player's running total points have been banked. All the other players stayed in, so they haven't banked any points yet. Now we repeat the previous steps, remembering that we do not change which dice we get to roll. In other words, the active player re-rolls the tally dice from the original main roll. Let's say we got these results. Again, we check for stars. This time we have none. Remember, if you only get 1 star or no stars at all, you total the values on the dice and add them to the running total. This time we tap a 10, a 30, and a 20. These were added to the previous running total to create a new total of 160. Again, players secretly choose whether to be in or out on their token, and after a count of 1, 2, 3, the tokens are revealed. This time I chose out along with this player. So now we get to bank the running total, adding it to our score. We each gained 160 points, but will not earn any more points this round. There is still one player left in the round, and even though I'm the active player and I already went out, I'm still responsible for rolling the originally chosen tally dice, which I'll do now. Well, here's a new situation. This time we have 2 stars. And as this tells us, that result is a bust. The round ends immediately, and the running total is reset to 0 by tapping the bust button here, and anyone who was still in doesn't add any points to their banked total. The round can also end if everyone at the table has their tokens set to out. In that case, you also reset the running total to 0, but everyone will have scored some points that round based on how long they stayed in. Either way, when a round ends, all of the in-out tokens are flipped to the inside, and the tally dice, along with the up die, are passed to the next person clockwise from the current active player, making them the new active player. This also starts a new round where, just as before, the new active player picks any 3 tally dice to be used that round. And now we can see the value of knowing what's on the dice. As you can tell, some of these, like red and orange, have higher total values, but also more sides with stars, making them more likely to bust you. While these colors have lower scores, but fewer stars. Let's assume this new active player is feeling risky and they pick these 3 dice. Every new round follows the same steps as the first round, but there are some things that could have happened during the first round or in future rounds that we still need to learn about. Now that we know more of the rules, I want to talk about these 2 columns in a little more detail. We know that this column represents the points players have actually banked and earned, and this is meant to be the running total. But in the second and later rounds, this is both the running total plus what you have banked so far, so you can see the total number of points you'll have if you go out. Andrea doesn't have any points banked yet, so this roll, which would give a total of 120 points, if she goes out, will go into her banked column. I already have 260 points, so if I go out now, this 70 and 50, which is the current running total, will be added to my final score, giving me 380 points. Also, if you ever tap one of these buttons accidentally, you can go back in by just tapping it again. Also, after a main roll, if all 3 dice show a star, as it says here, you've rolled a tally up, and the first person to shout out "tally up" now scores a 200-point bonus, while everyone who is still in earns a 100-point bonus. You assign this by tapping the tally up or tee up button by the player who shouted "tally up" first. So if we assume that's Christy, we press this button, and as we can see, these 200 bonus points were added to her final score, and Luke and Rodney, who were still in, gained an additional 100 points to their bank totals. When 3 stars are rolled, even a person who has their token set to out can earn the 200-point bonus if they are the first person to shout "tally up." And if more than one player calls it out at the exact same time, then each of them gain the 200-point bonus. I should also mention, if you ever need to manually adjust a player's score, just tap on their banked points and make the required adjustments, tapping Save Changes afterwards. So that's the 3-star tally up rule. But now let's learn about the up die. After rolling, if you did not bust, then after adding any values to your running total, you always check to see if one or more of the values have a circle around them. No matter how many do, you will now perform a single up die roll. First, each person gets to decide if they want to be in or out for this roll. So if you want to get out and bank the current running total before the up die is rolled, this is your chance. Again, count 1, 2, 3, and anyone who is out banks their points and leaves the current round. For the people still in, the up die is now rolled. If the plus 100 side is rolled, you add 100 points to the current running total. If a minus 100 is rolled, you subtract 100 points, and if you get the times 2, that doubles the running total. The other 3 sides show a plus 1, a plus 2, and a plus 3. These create an immediate bonus roll. Players do not get a chance to go out at this point. Everyone who is in must stay in for the bonus roll. And based on which of these bonus roll sides are showing, the active player now chooses that many tally dice which are not currently being used in the main roll and rolls those now. So any two in this case. Let's say the active player chooses these two and then gets this result. If there are now 2 or more stars showing across all the dice from the main roll and this bonus roll, everybody still in immediately busts. I should also point out, you do not roll the up die again if a value shows a circle on a bonus roll. And just to be clear, if a bonus roll causes you to have exactly 3 stars in total, you do not resolve at tally up. This is still a bust. You can only call out tally up and get the related bonuses if you roll 3 stars on the 3 dice of the main roll. If after a bonus roll, a bust was not caused, then everyone still in adds the points from the bonus roll to the running total. With the bonus roll resolved, set the bonus tally dice used for it along with the up die aside, and after players determine if they now want to be in or out, you go back to just rolling the dice that have been originally chosen for that round. And rounds will continue like this until a player has reached 2,500 or more points at the end of a round. Then the player with the most points wins. If there's a tie for most points, play another round until the tie for most points is broken. Which means a player who had not been tied for first might come out ahead in a tie-breaking round and ultimately win with the most points. I'll also point out that the game comes with variant rules you can play with to adjust the length of the game and the level of risk involved. But those rules I'll leave for you to discover on your own. Otherwise, that's everything you need to know to play Tally Up. If you have any questions about anything you saw here, feel free to put them in the comments below and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. You'll also find forums for discussion, pictures, other videos, and lots more over on the games page at Board Game Geek, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like, subscribing, and clicking that little bell icon so you get notification anytime we post a new video. And if you'd like to support me directly, you can join the Patreon team, which I'll have linked below. But until next time, thanks for watching.